In this video, we're gonna see the arrow functions. We're gonna open this, and this is a good time to introduce arrow functions because we're gonna continue working with fetch API, and also we're going to see what is async await. So we're gonna make this to the right, like this, and open the console, like this, and we're gonna open the app.js. We're gonna remove everything from here. And let's see what are arrow functions. We're gonna call this video arrow functions. Maybe it's going to take 2 videos. So we're gonna create a const. Normally we create the variables like this, const learning, or the function, and we add something like console.log, learning modern JS, something like this. Then we console log learning. So save this, and you can see this is going to print learning. It should be using parentheses. So you can see it says learning modern JS. And in this case, you can see it says console log, and we can skip this like this, and it's going to print learning modern JS. So this is the standard way of creating a function. You can see we have function. So you can see we have function and we have the parentheses. Using arrow functions, you can remove this. And you remove function, and then you add something like this, like an arrow right here. And this is going to be the same. So instead of using the word function, you will use this arrow. And then the parentheses is going to be before this arrow. You can see it's printing learning modern JS. In arrow functions, if your code is 1 line long, you can remove the square brackets like this, and you can see we have learning modern JS also. And if you are returning a value, so for example, right here in the learning, you can remove this console log. And like this is going to return the code. You can add console log right here, learning, and save this, and you can see you will have learning modern JS. So in the case that you are returning a value, you can skip the word return, and your function should look like this. If you try to return an object, and we're gonna create the object, let's add something like a message hello. Save this. You can see we have undefined. When you try to return an object, you have to add a parenthesis here. Parenthesis and then the object, and then it's going to be message hello. That's going to be really important. Now let me undo this code a little, like this. So if you try to pass parameters into this function, you are going to be adding this right here. So for example, you can add JavaScript, and then this is going to be the parameter. You can add, for example, tech, and you can remove this. And I'm gonna change this from single quotes to template strings, and $, open the braces, and we're gonna pass the tech. And you can see we have learning modern JavaScript. So this is how you pass parameters into the arrow function. Now, if you only are passing one parameter, you can skip the parentheses. So save this, and now you can see we have the same result. But if you add a second argument, something like learning, let me change the order of this. And right here I'm going to add, if you try to add a comma, message, and tech, and you try to add the curly brace right here, and you add message, then this is going to trigger an error, because when you have more than one parameter, you require the parentheses, tech, like this. And you can see it's working, learning modern JavaScript. But if you are passing only one parameter, you can skip the parentheses, like we did in this example. Let me undo this. And like this, you can see we only have one parameter, and you can skip the parentheses. That's going to be really important. So let me remove this. and we're gonna see arrow functions with a callback. Arrow functions with a callback. Let's say that we have a const called shopping cart. It's going to be equals to album, shirt, and also a guitar. Then we're gonna add a const product quantity. It's going to be equals quantity length. It's going to be, we're gonna add shopping cart, and we can use a map, the map function. Normally we add something like function, and then we add product, and then we return the product that length. So if you console log this, let me close this so you can see better the code. So if you console log this and save, it's going to return the length of these products, the length of the string. You can see here I added function and we added product. You can remove this function and add the arrow right here, and this is going to work. Also remember, if you only have one parameter, you can remove the parentheses, and this will also work. You can see that here we have these curly braces, and this line is only one line long, so we can, for example, remove this, remove the braces like this, and we can also skip the return value. So save this, and you can see we have the same, because we only have one line and we are intended to return that value. So you can see that the arrow functions will save you a lot of code. Finally, let's create a final example using an array with for each and arrow functions. So again, we're gonna, and I'm gonna bring back that array because we're gonna use the same example using a shopping cart. So we're gonna call this one arrow function with for each. So we have this shopping cart, and we're gonna create something like shopping cart dot for each. Normally we create something like function, then we pass the product right here and open the braces, and then we console log the product. So we can save this, and you can see we access each value. So again, if you want to take this into arrow functions, you can cut this function and add the arrow right here. This is going to be the same result. Since we only have one parameter, you can remove this, and you can see we have the same result. And also, since this is a one line long, we can also remove this and put everything in one line. So this is going to work also. So in the next video, let's open that fetch API file, the one that was loading a TXT file, a JSON, and something from the REST API. And we're gonna see how we can add arrow functions into that code.